Standing as one of the most prolific gunmakers of the 20th century, Glock has become one of the most recognizable names and guns in the world. With a foothold in the gun industry since the mid-1980s, the company's products are loyally carried by law enforcement, military personnel, and civilians. But this iconic handgun has a lot of secrets in its past. Here are 10 things you never knew about the Glock pistol. Number 1. The polymer exterior of Glock handguns is made of the mysterious material named polymer 2. The company keeps its trade secrets close to its chest, and many business investigators have tried to figure out its secrets. While the company isn't talking, the mystery of the exterior of the Glock 19 has been cracked, with analysts believing it could be Zytel nylon, one of the most wear and tear resistant polymers out there. It's best known as the material used to make highly resistant track shoes worn by Olympic sprinters, meaning fast bullets and fast runners could have something in common. Number 2. The Glock 17 is the original model, and the Glock 19 is the concealed carry modern upgrade. So what happened to the Glock 18? Well, it's very similar to the others, with one big difference. It can shift between semi-automatic mode and fully automatic mode. And in fully automatic mode, it can shoot as fast as it can be reloaded, with a maximum capacity of a stunning 1,200 rounds a minute. There's only one problem. The danger of a fully automatic handgun in the hands of criminals would be massive, and most countries, including the United States, have banned their sale. So, the Glock 18 remains a highly rare piece of contraband in most places, except where it's used as a military weapon. Number 3. Die Hard 2 was the Glock 17's first big appearance in a film, and it was slated to be the gun of choice for the bad guy. Glock didn't much care that the pistol was not being used by the hero, and was merely happy that their pistol was going to get some exposure in a Hollywood blockbuster. Birth of the Ghost Gun. Now, you might recall the scene where Bruce Willis refers to the mythical Glock 7 as made from porcelain, and wonder why the heck someone who knew better didn't speak up and stop the stupidity. The on-set armorer from Cinema Weaponry, Mike Papik, tried to talk the movie makers out of using that line, since it was grossly untrue. Papik says that the folks in charge of the movie flat out wouldn't budge, and that the line was written into the script, and that was the end of the conversation. Number 4. The infamous Glock grip angle that many hate to love, and love to hate, was something that Gaston felt was an extremely important element to the pistol's design. In order to more fully understand the thought process behind the grip angle that Gaston chose, one has to understand that military doctrine of the time was to shoot a pistol with one hand, body bladed to the target. Gaston invited several guests to join him at his vacation home in Velden, Austria, and asked those guests several questions about what they wanted from a military sidearm. One of the design elements that Gaston intended to figure out was what angle the grip should be. He passed mock-ups of pistols made from pieces of wood nailed together around, and asked his guests to aim at something with both their eyes open, as well as their eyes closed. The thought process was that aiming the new sidearm should be instinctual and shouldn't take much effort. The consensus among his guests was that the grip angle of 22 degrees was ideal, but Gaston later reduced the angle slightly, somewhere in between 20 to 21 degrees. Number 5. Gaston Glock was born in 1929, lived through the Second World War, founded his company 58 years ago, and is still going strong at almost 93 years old. He is still the majority owner of the company. With a net worth of just over $1 billion, he remains active in both charity and politics in his native Austria. But that long life hasn't been without close calls. Number 6. Most machines have countless parts that can be nearly impossible for an untrained person to disassemble and put back together. But the Glock proves that sometimes simple is better. The Glock 17, and every model that came after it, has only 34 parts. Diagrams are available online that show exactly how to strip a gun and put it back together. So, why is the Glock designed as such a simple machine? Well, the Austrian military wanted it that way. The initial contract wanted a simple gun, with no more than 58 parts, and Gaston Glock did them one better. Simpler than expected and under budget, a rarity for design projects. Number 7. For many people, Glock isn't just a handgun. It's a way of life. Not only do they collect the firearms, but they're members of the Glock Sport Shooting Foundation. Aiming to raise awareness of target shooting as a sport, it has over 22,000 members and organizes over 100 shooting events every year. All you need to do is compete with a Glock pistol and pay a membership fee, which is included in the purchase of a Glock gun. While there's some controversy over the Foundation's family-friendly shooting events, Glock defends the group as a good way to teach firearms safety. Number 8. When Glock was founded in 1963, it was a tiny company of only 3 employees, meaning Gaston Glock had to do much of the work by himself. Since then, it's become an international sensation, but it's still a small company by comparison to many international brands. It's still privately held and can't be invested in on the stock market like other major gun brands, such as Smith & Wesson. While much of its manufacturing is handled outside the company, the actual Glock Corporation only has just under 1,200 employees as of 2015, a fraction of what other weapons manufacturers do, and a testament to its humble beginnings. Number 9. Glock isn't just a handgun manufacturer. Though the company is notorious for its semi-automatic polymer pistols, the manufacturer wasn't always singularly focused on handguns. During the 1970s, Glock first began developing and producing military products to include field knives, components for fragmentation, training grenades, grenade casings, and machine gun belt links. Glock also created a field spade known as the Feldspaten. The Feldspaten, created in 1983, features a surface-treated blade that can be locked in 3 positions. The device also sports a hardened saw located inside the handle that can be mounted on the tool if desired. If you're looking for a smaller G unit for concealed carry, or considering to finally join the ranks of plastic fantastic fanboys to find out what the fuss is about, these are some solid candidates. Glock 43X MOS. After its Gen 5 release, Glock is steadily bringing its legacy lineup up to the new standard. For the last couple of years, we're seeing compact, single-stack pistols skyrocket in popularity, and Glock is certainly helping fuel that trend. Add in the demand and functionality of miniature red dot sights on everything nowadays, and it makes perfect sense that we'd see the 43X get the MOS treatment. If you need a pocket pistol that bridges the capability gap between traditional pistol and carbine, the 43X MOS, equipped with aftermarket 15-round shield magazines, just might be the ticket. In fact, that combo just might become my concealed handgun of choice. It's lightweight, concealable, and highly functional. Glock 19 Gen 5. A mid-size pistol, the Glock 19 holds 15+1 rounds of 9mm Luger. It measures just over 7 inches long and 1.18 inches wide. It is the perfect size to conceal, has enough substance to hold on to during recoil, and it has a magazine capacity sufficient for most dangerous encounters. I know the Glock haters out there are going to disagree, but you're allowed to be wrong. It's a free country. It has an ambidextrous slide stop lever, a flared mag for easy ambidextrous loading, a reversible magazine release button, and no manual safety. That means there's no fumbling around to switch an external safety designed for a right-handed shooter. The Glock 19 does have a drop-safe trigger for those concerned about accidental discharge. If you can't keep your booger picker off the bang switch, this is not the gun for you, and you should probably review basic gun safety. Glock 17. As a pistol designed for law enforcement, it would be shocking if the Glock 17 had anything less than perfect reliability. This is a tried-and-true handgun that requires little maintenance to remain reliable throughout its lifetime. Time and time again, Glock has proven it deserves to be the most popular and trusted manufacturer of handguns in the United States. Its simple yet tough design is universally recognized and adored, so it's no wonder that the Glock 17 is one of the top choices for law enforcement and home defense. The Glock 17 is a full-sized pistol with a full-sized grip and minimal muzzle rise, which makes it very controllable and accurate even in rapid fire. It's trivial to get groupings of less than 2 inches from 25 yards, or less than 1.5 inches from 15 yards. For a combat pistol, the accuracy of the Glock 17 is more than acceptable. No matter your shooting skills, this pistol will give you accuracy.